Let's take a deep breath here. Reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them back down. 2 more like that. Slowing that breath down if it's still a little bit short or shallow from your workout. And on that last breath up, go ahead and keep your arms up and hold one elbow there. Let's stretch the tricep. Bring that hand down behind your head. Keep standing tall, weight on both feet. Still taking deep breaths. Go ahead and switch. And we'll reach both arms up here, clasp them together, and then lean over to one side. If it feels like too much to keep those hands together, just bring one hand down to your hip. That works great. If you're using both arms up, really use your bottom arm to stretch your top arm. So both arms stay straight, really reaching, supporting yourself with your core here. So we're not collapsing down into the side, but you're staying long through the spine. Go ahead and switch. Make sure you can still take deep breaths. Relax that. And we'll take one step forward here, the other leg back. We'll bring an arm across the chest there. You want to keep the shoulder low, away from the ear. And then the arm that's across your chest, keep it straight. That other arm crosses over at your forearm there. And then bring the arm as close to your chest as you can. Meanwhile, that foot that's behind us, those toes point forward, and we're pressing into that heel, getting that calf stretch as well. So there's probably a little bend in your front leg, but that back leg is straight. Let's switch sides, make that step, double check that your back toes really point forward and not out to the side. A lot of times they kind of point out and we don't really realize it. So take a look at them, make sure they point forward. We'll get a little better stretch there. Same thing with the arm, that shoulder stays low. Let that go. We'll take a little wider stance here and then lunge to one side. So your knee is going to be bent there. The other leg is straight and you're feeling that stretch on the inner thigh. So you're pushing your hips behind you here. Keep your weight in that front heel and that heel of the leg that's bent. Now if you're stretching to the right, you're going to bring your left hand down to the ground, and the other arm is going to reach up. If you're stretching to the left, of course, bring your right hand down, reach your left arm up. Whatever knee is bent, you face that knee. If the floor is feeling too far away, see if you can find something to put your hand on. Whatever's nearby, maybe a step or a rock. If you're inside, use a chair. If you have a yoga block, that's great. Good, bring it down, and we'll switch sides. So let's get the lunge first, get that set up. Hips are pushing behind you, find that stretch on your inner thigh. And then bring the hand down. Again, face the knee that's bent. So if you're now stretching to the left arm is up, you're facing your left knee. Good, let that go nice and easy. Bring the arm down first, then stand up. Now turn the toes so they're parallel to each other. Those toes directly pointed forward, and we'll fold right down the middle. Another good place for that little elevated block or step or whatever you have there if the floor is too far away. Try to let your head relax. Slowly start to come up. Walk your feet in just a couple of steps here. And then bend your knees so you're coming into a little bit of a squat. Take one hand down inside one leg and the other arm up. So right now my hand is all the way there to the ground, but it doesn't have to be. You can bring that elbow up to rest on your leg. And float the arm back down. We'll switch sides, but first let's take a little rest. If those legs are tired from your workout, go ahead and straighten them. Point your toes forward again and fold right down the middle. Now, having done this already, you might have a little more space, so just be aware of that. If your body is relaxing a little bit more into that, try to take advantage of that extra space. If you want to hold your feet or your ankles, you can start to bring yourself down a little deeper. If you're holding your feet, though, try not to pull up on the outer edge of the foot. Make sure the foot is still anchored strong to the floor. Good, and we'll switch sides to start to flatten your back a little bit. Bring the heels in, so now your toes are pointed out. Sit down, and then the other side. The arm comes down inside the leg, or it rests on the thigh, and the other arm reaches up. Slowly bring that arm back down. And once again, let's lift the hips, point the toes forward so the feet are parallel, and fold forward one more time. Good. Flatten through the back to come up. You can walk your feet in until they're right under your hips. Bend your knees a little bit to stand up again. And let's pick one leg up here behind us. See if you can hold your ankle instead of the foot. And then bring your knees right in line with each other. And if you need more stretch, think about tucking your pelvis under rather than pulling back on the leg. Good, same leg, let's take it in front of us, cross it over the other one, and then start to sit down a little bit until you can feel that stretch in your hip. The leg that's crossed over, go ahead and keep that foot flexed so your toe is pulling in toward your shin. Good. Stand up tall. Let's switch sides. Start with that quad stretch. Foot behind you. Hold the ankle. Still breathing deeply. It's okay to use something for balance here. Our priority is that stretch. But if you can, start working toward holding your balance too. So maybe if you're leaning against the wall, if your hand is on a wall or on a chair or anything, start to keep it light on that wall or light on the chair and start to try to take a few seconds where you're not holding on. Good. Cross that same leg over. Let's stretch the hip. Stand up. We'll bring the feet right under the hips and then come down just a little bit, hands on the thighs. We'll arch the back and round the back here. So you're bending your knees just a little, hips behind you. Inhale as you arch the back, exhale as you round the back, really squeeze the belly button up toward the spine. Good, and go ahead and roll that on up to standing. Set those shoulders back and down.